Lynette, can you shut the door? Hi, everybody. This is Mark Comfort, and my wife Mimi and I own Cruise Holidays, if you happen not to know us. And this webinar today, I'm very excited about because I don't know where my wife and I picked it, but I don't know where. No, it's not Bordeaux. I don't know. Marcy, can you send that backwards again? Because I want to get people, I don't want them thinking about Bordeaux when we're going to be talking about the gems of Southeast Europe. Literally a year ago, matter of fact, I'll start even farther back than that. 2 years ago, I believe it was, we were on the Alma Magna. And we had a butler, and our butler was from Romania. And our butler was so excited about Romania because Mimi and I had never been to the lower Danube. We've been on the, let's call it the regular Danube, but we've not been on the lower Danube. So we kept asking our butler about something every day. Every day we saw him, and oh my gosh, I don't know if he did much work outside of our cabin because we would keep him there for as long as we could till he got buzzed, and then not this way buzzed, but buzzed to go work. And we talked to him about the beauty of Romania, the beauty of Serbia, the beauty of Bulgaria, and the places that we've never been before. And long story short, literally, he just got us so very excited about experiencing this part of the Danube that's called the lower Danube. So I don't know anything about it. I've got Marcy New, which is the AmaWaterways representative, but better than that, not better than that, Marcy, excuse me. Even more important from firsthand experience than what Marcy and I could give you, Angie Avalos with AmaWaterways. Angie is actually from Romania. She's from the Transylvania area of Romania that we're going to hear about. That's going to be a post-package option for us when we're done, that Mimi and I are most certainly going to do. Matter of fact, that butler kept telling us that the Transylvania area was the most beautiful part of Eastern Europe, not just Romania, the most beautiful part, mountainous, hilly. You know, everybody knows it for Dracula and Dracula's castle, but so much more than that. So we got all excited about that and put this trip together for for this year, actually, and it was, let's use the word postponed. So we'll be going October 10th through the 17th of 2022. And we're very, very excited about it. I love going to places that I haven't been before. I was telling Angie, and I think Marcy knows this earlier, proudly can tell you I've been to 103 countries. So if you're a country counter, this cruise will give you a lot of countries because we will go through, if we start the trip in Vienna, Austria, which is a 2-night pre-package before we leave out of Budapest, you'll have Austria, you'll have Hungary, you'll have Croatia, you'll have Bulgaria, Serbia, and Romania. So pretty cool that way. But we'll learn all about the history, lots and lots of history in this area. The culture, I think we're going to find a totally unique culture, as Angie will tell us very shortly, than say the other parts of Europe that many of us have been to. So with that said, Marcy and I got negotiating the deal again, like I say, a year and a half ago, and we put together a tremendous trip on the new ship, the AmaBella, and you'll hear all about that. I'm going to have Marcy tell you all about AmaWaterways and all about the AmaBella, but then Angie's going to go into the destination because she knows the destination. But before we begin, hey, there's so many of you that have had vacation plans postponed again, let's use that, for this summer and even this winter. We are going to do something that I feel very, very good about, and that is a river cruise on AmaWaterways, September 30th through October 7th in Bordeaux, France. And those of you that know wine know that Bordeaux is one of the premier wine places in the entire world. Some of the best chateaus and vineyards and wine that you might have arguably anywhere in the whole world. But more importantly than that, even not maybe not to some, but the history, the culture, the scenery, all of that is there. And you know, if you're ready to get away, we have like close to 60 people on this cruise, and it's one of Ama's smaller vessels because the rivers are smaller and narrower and shallower there. So we're on one of the shorter ships. And I got to tell you, I think this is going to be a fantastic experience. We've got almost 60 people signed up to go with us right now. And again, look at that. That says 2021, not 2022, this year. And I don't know about you, I can't wait to go. I just can't wait to go. France just announced literally over the weekend, last Friday to be exact, that they are opening up to foreign tourists, including Americans, on June 9th. June 9th of this year. That is great news, great news. And we're going to see almost all of Europe opening up very, very quickly. Now, another trip that I am hosting personally myself in 2022, in June of 2022, by the way, is this Paris and Normandy AmaWaterways cruise up the Seine River from Paris round trip, but going north into that incredible, beautiful place, but so historic. So many people that go on this itinerary are driven to go by Normandy and to see the beaches that Normandy has, Omaha Beach and Juno Beach, and the other 3 beaches there. Those were the 2 that Americans and Canadians were in charge of capturing. And man, when you see this, you will feel as patriotic as you have ever felt. For those of you that think the people from France don't like Americans, well, that doesn't count up here. They love Americans. In many cases, they have their American flags in their yards. But while Normandy will stick with you, and when we go to that cemetery, oh my gosh, it's just mind-boggling and saddening and patriotic all at the same time. It's an experience of a lifetime, I promise you. Just that one stop in Normandy. But there's so much more. Giverny, which is Monet's home. For those of you that have seen all of Monet's paintings or many of his paintings, you will literally see the gardens and the water lilies and all of that he painted from right there on site. And then the other parts of this trip that you have not, places you've not heard of outside of Rouen, I believe it's pronounced. I have to learn to not roll my R's, but say it right. And I said it Spanish the entire time I was there before. The whole itinerary was just fantastic. Excuse me. So we've got a lot of things going on. And the third trip that we have will be the third hosted trip will be the Gems of Southeastern Europe. And that's the one that we have my wife, Mimi, and I hosting. And when we host something together, we call it our Royal Family Trip. And with the Royal Family Trips, we always do a couple of things that will be surprises for you. So we're not going to tell you what they are on this trip today. Next slide, Marcy.
Okay. Thank you, Mark.
With AmaWaterways, take it away.
Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate it. Angie, thank you for joining us today. And thank all of you for your time today. Really, my ultimate goal is to share with you what river cruising is all about. Maybe some of you on the call have already been with AmaWaterways. Maybe you haven't, but river cruising is something you're looking at for that perfect vacation. So we look at it as oceans take you to countries, because you go around the outer edges of those countries into those bigger cities, where rivers are really the vessels and the veins of these countries, and they take you through the destination. We can go, in certain circumstances, we can go country to country in 15 minutes. You know, back in the day, many years ago, the waterways were used for trading. So all of the villages and the cities all went to the water's edge to establish themselves so that they had abilities for trading. Excuse me. These are our owners, Rudy Schreiner, and our president, Christine Karst and Gary Murphy. Rudy, by trade, is an architect. He is from Austria. He is the only river executive in the Cruise Line International Hall of Fame. And we are so proud of that and proud of him. He brings to us a wealth of knowledge in our shipbuilding. And Rudy builds our ships different than anyone else on the rivers, and that is that we are more shallow at the draw than any other river line. So what that means to you is we can maneuver the rivers much easier. So rivers come 3 ways. They come perfect water, which we'd always like to have. Then we have some circumstances where we have low water and high water. Well, as you can imagine, the low water can really present some challenges. Rudy designs our vessels more shallow at the draw, enabling us to maneuver those waterways even when the water is low. In 2018, we had low water, and AmaWaterways is the only river line that had no cancellations. And then we have the beautiful Christine Karst, who is very active with us every day as well. And Christine works very hard with our global advisors and our guests on board for their onboard experience. And then you have the Murphy family, and the Murphy family used to own Brendan Worldwide Vacations, which was a land-based company. They sold that and came over and joined Rudy and Christine, really, again, with a wealth of knowledge on the packaging of what we offer. So reasons to river cruise with Alma. I could be here all day. There's a lot of reasons. But one of the things I think that is so important is we have smaller personalized guided groups. So we have different ability levels, being gentle walkers, regular walkers, and active walkers. Each and every day, you can determine what you want to do, whether it's be active today or be a gentle walker today. But depending upon what the city or village has to offer will determine how much you're going to see based on your ability for the day. And excuse me, we also have a late risers. I have to be totally honest. I've never seen the late risers because I take the early tours, but our early tours don't begin until 9 o'clock. So we don't have you out of bed at the crack of dawn by any stretch. And one of the very important things is that when you're on board, you feel like part of our family. And we provide you with the comforts of home because the ship is your home. Christine is very passionate about health. So several years back, we put a wellness host on all of our ships. They will conduct 5 classes a day, ranging from 30 to 45 minutes. These are all complimentary. So it can be cardio, strength training, Zumba, yoga, and they really do some fun things with them. They might do yoga and champagne tasting. They might do coarse stretching and chocolate tasting. They have all kinds of fun things. And this has become very, very important to many of our guests. And again, as a reminder, it's all complimentary. You don't sign up for it. You just show up for the class. And no one goes on vacation to have anything but wonderful dining. So we are one of only 2 river lines that have been given the La Chaîne Road du Sour signature. This is a French culinary society, very prestigious society. And in 2014, they inducted us into this society based on everything from presence, palatability, preparation, all of the things that compile 5-star dining. We're very, very proud of this award. So you can expect to have 5-star dining at every meal. The other thing that's very important is we do not have a lot of space on these ships, so we source everything fresh and locally. Local farmers, local growers, local markets. So not only are you eating this fabulous food, but you're eating it in a very, very healthy way because it is fresh. Excuse me. And then we have the chef's table. So every one of the ships in Europe have the chef's table. This is a 9-course dining experience, and it's in a very intimate dining room holding between 24 and 28 guests. And everything is prepared a la minute or all at the moment for the guest. So you're having 3 appetizers, 3 entrees, 3 desserts, and then we're pairing the beautiful wines of the region with this. Something very important to note, even in the main dining room, your menu is going to change every day based on the fact of the region that we're traveling. So you're experiencing the culinary experience of each region, each city, wherever we may be on the river. In addition to that, your wines will change so that you truly get the entire culinary explosion, if you will, of that particular area. And this beautiful dining does the same thing. So we've got a beautiful menu up here, and we've got the different wines that we pair with this experience. This is a complimentary experience. So we do not have an additional cost for this. And when you're traveling with a group, we do those reservations ahead of time for you. Otherwise, you would just do them upon your arrival at the ship. Now, as Mark mentioned, the Gems of Southeast Europe, he and Mimi are hosting this. It's called his Royal Family Group, and it's October 10th through the 17th, again in 2022. Isn't this beautiful right here? This is the Parliament in Budapest. And I want to show you this map so that you have a better understanding. So you've got Vienna, which is going to be the 2-night pre-package. And then we go to Budapest and you follow the river all the way down to Giurgiu. And seeing all of these beautiful countries as we mentioned. And this is the new AmaBella. This is the ship, 135 meters. This is a double balconied ship, one of our many 135 meter vessels. And this gives you an idea of our lounge area. And our lounge area definitely is a place where you spend a lot of time. This is a wonderful place to meet new friends, just relax in the afternoons, mornings, evenings, whenever you may be on the ship. This is also where your nightly entertainment takes place. And it's just a gathering spot where our cruise managers meets with you and talks about all the tours that you have accessible to you for the remainder of the days while you're on board. And this is our double balconied stateroom. So this is a French balcony. These beautiful doors open. You get the beautiful viewing of the river and the fresh air, but you're not out in the elements. Over here, you've got the table and chairs on your second step out balcony. And the beautiful part of this too is you can close this door to be able to control the temperature in your stateroom. But it is a wonderful, wonderful place to sit and watch the day pass by and see all the beautiful sights on the river. And now I am going to turn it over to Angie. This is her true expertise, but I do want to mention that just a moment ago, I showed you this very same architectural magnificence in Hungary in the daytime. This is the night viewing of the Parliament in Budapest. Angie, it's all yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark and Marcy. It's wonderful to spend this afternoon with you all, and I hope I will bring Eastern Europe a little closer to your hearts, and many of you will join Mark on this wonderful itinerary in 2022. It is a little bit off the beaten path, so to speak. It's a place that your neighbors will ask, oh, you've been there? I haven't been there yet. So it's not as touristic as other parts of Europe. Things are still developing after 40 years of communism. Some of these countries were under communism for a long time and became democratic countries only at the end of the 89, 90. So the cruise will start in the beautiful Budapest. For me, it's the most beautiful capital really built on a river. When you cruise out of Budapest, you feel like you are really passing through a fairy tale book, and all these beautiful architectural styles on both sides of the river are just making you have a wow sensation every moment of that cruise. So after we leave Budapest, we will continue our river cruise with the city of Pécs. Pécs is such a wonderful city that was built on Roman ruins, and you can see the Roman ruins. There is a glass on top of them, and you are able to see where the city was built in Roman times. It was so wonderful because a few years ago, it was chosen as the European Cultural Capital. So 2 cities every year are chosen to be cities of European culture, and Pécs was one of them. What I would like to point your attention to on this particular picture is the fact that we are going from the Catholic world to a different religion in this area. As you can see on the left side, we have a mosque. In the middle, we have a synagogue, we have a Christian church, and on the right, we have a synagogue. So this multitude of cultures and religions and different languages, is what you will experience in Eastern Europe. And you will have a wonderful tour of Pécs. After we leave Pécs, we will enter Croatia. And in Croatia, we stop in Vukovar. And there you can go to Ilok to have a wonderful wine tasting event. So the wines of the Eastern Europe countries are mostly Gewürztraminer, a lot of the white wines, but as well as Merlot. Some of the wines are extremely not popular. They're not shipped outside this area. So what you will taste very good quality wines that you will not be able to buy outside these countries. We will visit this beautiful Elz castle that belongs to a German family who donated the castle to the country of Croatia. The other castle is actually on the Moselle River. So if any of you have seen the Elz castle there, it's the same family. So what is important inside, they have amazing exhibitions, like all type of art collections that will really be interesting for you to see. After we leave Vukovar, we continue our cruise with the city of Novi Sad. Novi Sad is in Serbia. So Serbia and Croatia were before part of Yugoslavia. You will hear here a lot of stories about Tito. Tito was the nice dictator of the Eastern European countries. Somehow he was in communist times, but he had his own path with not too much restrictions coming from Russia. So it was a different type of communism, and he was able to keep these Yugoslavian countries as one entity through these times for many years, having in mind that they are different religions, different languages, different alphabets in these countries. That's why they became independent countries. What is beautiful in Novi Sad is the beautiful Petrovaradin Fortress, one of the largest fortresses in Europe. And you will see that before becoming a president of Yugoslavia, Tito was imprisoned here in Novi Sad. We are visiting this fortress and the undergrounds of the fortress at nighttime. That's why this place is called the Athens of Serbia. It's absolutely beautiful, stunning at nighttime and overlooking the Danube. And I'm so happy that we will do this visit when you will be there in the evening. From Novi Sad, we continue our journey through Serbia to the capital of Serbia, Belgrade. It is one of my most favorite places in Europe, and we have some wonderful surprises in place here for you. One of them being that we will visit the royal palace. The royal family of Serbia lives here, so you will have a chance to see a real prince and his wife, and they are very happy to welcome the AmaWaterways groups when you visit their home. Also, we are going afterwards to see Scadarria. Scadarria is this beautiful bohemian alley with restaurants on both sides of the street. What I love the most about Scadarria is that in the evening, you have mandolin players, guitar players, men's choirs, a lot of music in these beautiful restaurants, while you enjoy some traditional cevapcici, which are the Serbian sausages. They're skinless sausages with different flavors. They are absolutely tasty, and they are served with a fresh-made Serbian salad that contains cucumbers, tomatoes, feta cheese, fresh dill. So with some music in the background and a beautiful meal, this will be a place when Marcy showed you how beautiful the cuisine is on an AmaWaterways cruise. If I would have to skip one dinner on board, it will be when I am in Belgrade, to have that lively atmosphere on a truly bohemian street. And we will also walk through the street at daytime during our city tour, but at nighttime, it's a total different atmosphere. Living now in America, I do miss the sound of the bells of our beautiful cathedrals and churches. And Serbia has the largest one in Eastern Europe, Sensaba Cathedral. We are passing by this beautiful monument of Orthodox religion, and you will hear the bells everywhere in the city when you are in Belgrade. We will move then then the next slide will show you a little bit about the folklore of the region. So something very exciting about this trip, besides the fact that you are cruising through the longest distance during a 7-night cruise, we are actually cruising for 800 miles. And we are also learning a lot about the folklore of this region. Today I am wearing my Romanian blouse, and all of us who come from there, we are very proud of our very colorful outfits that really depict how happy the people are. We are also known from our dances in circle, yes, where we invite all the guests who visit the area to join us and dance with us. And here you have a beautiful Serbian girl, and you can see the leather shoes that she is wearing that they are still making in these countries. And all of our costumes and blouses are handmade in these times. You wanted to add something, Marcy?
No,
No?
go right ahead. Go ahead. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes. So after a few days of sightseeing and beautiful excursions, we are going to relax a little bit. We are starting to cruise through the Iron Gates. And Mark asked me, where is the name Iron Gates coming from? And actually, this name is coming from Roman times. Romans always wanted to cross the Danube to see what's on the other side in the territory that is right now known as Romania. Crossing the Danube turned out to be a quite difficult task, and many of them, unfortunately, they didn't make it. So they called this region the Iron Gates. They said there must be iron gates there. That's why we cannot get through. In the end, they built a bridge, and they were able to go above the bridge and cross into what today is Romania and conquer Dacia at that time. When we enter the Iron Gates, we will start our world of legends and myths, and we start with the Golubak Fortress. The legend says a girl called Golubana used to live in this town, and she was known for her beauty. One of the Turkish pasha decided to conquer her heart, but Golubana did not accept his love. So he tied her next to a stone by the river. As she was looking for her last days of her life, she was overlooking these Roman ruins, which later on became a medieval fortress. We will visit this medieval fortress that has 10 towers and hear the story of Golubana during our visit here. And then we will continue with the beautiful stretch of the Iron Gates, which means this narrow passage, very windy, between Romania on the left side and Serbia on the right side in this picture. It is a very narrow gorge, and on the left side, some Romanian students are still carving this rock of King Decebalus, the last king of the Dacians. When Dacia was conquered in 102 AD, he was the last king. And what else we will see on this day? Beautiful flora and fauna on both sides of the river. We have the Balkan Mountains on the right, the Carpathians on the left, with beautiful birds, beautiful animals, lots of trees and greenery. It's just one of the most amazing days of cruising on any of the European cruises, I would say. We also see some beautiful Orthodox churches. And to make the day really, really exciting, we are throwing a Balkan barbecue on the sun deck. Our European chefs are making all the traditional dishes of this region. We are known for our slow-cooked meals. And on the left, you have the Romanian skinless sausages with the Romanian salad. And on the right, you see the baked eggplants. And we are also making a wonderful eggplant spread with roasted bell peppers and eggplants, onions, and garlic. So you will taste a lot of the traditional dishes on this wonderful barbecue on the sun deck. After we go through the Iron Gates, we are going to another country, to the country of Bulgaria. Bulgaria is known for the Rousse perfumes, right? They are really producing most of the Rousse perfume for the perfume industry in the world. And in summertime, one can see all the rose fields in bloom. The first town that we visit is Vidin. And just to explain to you a little bit about how communist mentality worked, in communist times, the villages became kind of destroyed in the countryside of this region. All the cities became bigger, and to accommodate more people, some of the old architectural buildings were demolished completely, and new blocks of apartments, of flats were built, and they all look a little squarish, like you see in this town of Vidin. So Vidin was very popular for many of the people from the countryside to come and work for the factory of yogurt. Bulgarians are very known for their yogurt, and in Vidin, what we will do as a very special experience for our guests, we will go to the Bulgarian families, where the ladies of the houses will teach you how to make banica, a cheese pastry that is absolutely tasty, and you will learn how to make it, and it's always served with a glass of Bulgarian yogurt. On the left side in the picture, you see a beautiful fortress, and I think we have another view of this fortress in one of the next pictures. So in Bulgaria, we will visit two wonderful fortresses, both on the same day. One is this Bellograchik Fortress. As you can see, the ruins of the fortress are at the top of these unusual rock formations. They really reminded me a little bit of the rock formations that we have in a state like Utah here in North America. And our gentle walking groups will probably just take pictures from the front, from the front side, while the more active ones could go all the way to the top of this fortress. Once you are there, you will admire these rock formations that go for about 13 miles. And it's just this absolutely gorgeous day of enjoying this fortress. And in the afternoon, we will go to the Babavida Fortress, the one that you saw in Vidin. And this is a more robust fortress, totally different than the first one in Bellograchik. And what is very unusual, very different, is the fact that we have a medieval show for our guests. So the locals put on a medieval show in medieval costumes to just bring us back in time. Bulgaria seems to be one of the oldest European countries, actually. The Kingdom of Bulgaria has been there for 800 years. And in the next picture, you will see the ancient capital of Bulgaria, Veliko Turnovo. This is a town that, to me, it reminded me of some of the Italian towns, because all the buildings are on terraces, and they're very close to each other, a very beautiful architectural style. And you will see here a beautiful fortress as well, and the gates to that fortress right in front of the picture. And you will have a wonderful time also in Veliko Turnovo. So our cruise really ends in Rousse, which is on the other side of the river, just next to Giurgiu, Romania. So part of Bulgaria, part of Romania right there. And this picture, we chose it here to show you how a communist building looked, built in the 80s, most likely 70s. So in communist times. After we leave the ship in Romania, we continue with our extension to Transylvania. And that's where I am from. This castle here belonged to the royal family. The royal family of Romania came actually from Germany in 1881. They moved to Romania, and Their residence before that was in the Black Forest, where the Danube starts flowing. When they arrived to the beautiful town of Sinaia and they saw all the wonderful mountains around this castle, they decided to build a neo-Renaissance castle right there in the heart of Transylvania. The castle was the first one that was illuminated in Europe in 1883, and also the first one to have central heating and a very, very interesting vacuum system that was very new for these times. The walls of the interior of the castles are Cordoba leather walls. The chandeliers are Murano glass chandeliers. It is just a jewel of architecture and in really a wonderful setting. And it will be very nice for you to learn about this royal family that moved from Germany to Romania and how much they enjoyed each and every aspect of the Romanian culture. The queen was actually wearing the traditional Romanian blouses, and the castle was left through the testament to the Romanian people. So after we visit the Palace Castle, we continue to my city, the city of Brașov, in the center part of Romania. It is a city where for many years Germans, Hungarians, and Romanians lived together in a very peaceful way. In the back corner there, you see a church. It is a Gothic church. Inside of it, we have an organ with 4,000 pipes. It is the largest organ inside of an Eastern European church, and it is in a Gothic style, of course, the church, and it's a Lutheran church. We also have a very colorful facades on the buildings, and all the streets in town come together to the center. So you will see all the locals gathering here, and your hotel is very close to this wonderful city center. When you will be in my town, I highly have to recommend you to have some of the Romanian pastries. We do serve them fresh for breakfast together with all type of yogurt drinks. And when you are walking through the city in the morning, you smell all this wonderful aroma from all the bakeries. After we leave Brașov, we go to Sigiswara. Sigiswara is really a gem. It's one of the best preserved medieval towns of Europe. Every time I go there, I feel like a very talented painter chose the colors for these wonderful facades. And next to the church with the tower, we do have an important house in this town. It is the house where Vlad Dracul, or Vlad the Impaler, was born. He was a very cruel ruler, and when people did bad things, he was known for impaling them. Bram Stoker created the novel of Dracula, and it was a count in Transylvania. No one knows if it was necessarily Vlad the Impaler or another one, but that's what the legend takes us. Something very special to share also about this town is that Prince Charles of Wales, he comes here many times a year, and he even bought some properties in a close by village. He loves how the locals are producing everything in their own homes, including the plum brandy that we are known for, that is quite strong, and you have to taste it when you come to Transylvania, and including the homemade honey and all the wonderful sausages and everything that we produce actually in our own homes in this region. After we leave Sigiswara, we cannot miss the landmark of Romania, probably the most pictured castle in Romania, which is the castle of Bran. And something that I have to share here is that our queen, the Queen Maria of Romania, whose castle you visited a couple of days ago before this one, She loved this castle so much, she actually lived in the castle. So when you visit it, you're going to see pieces of her own furniture, her own art. And she loved it so much that she wanted her heart to be buried inside a diamond box across from this castle. So she would still feel the energy of this place after her life. Once we leave the Bran Castle, we have here a picture that, of course, we have to share that includes the Romanian papanaș on the left side. These are our Romanian donuts made with cottage cheese and served with sour cream and cherry jelly. And on the right side, that banica that I mentioned that you will learn how to make when you are in Bulgaria with the Bulgarian families. And after Brașov, we continue our trip to Bucharest. Bucharest is the capital of Romania. It's a very lively city. It was known as the Paris of the East. Between the two world wars, there was high life in Bucharest. People were really enjoying their life. They were copying a lot of the things from Paris, including learning how to speak French. And that's why if you look at the architectural style in the old town of Bucharest, it will take you to Paris. You will remember Paris, including the Arc of Triumph, which is really a beautiful arc in the center of Bucharest. Now, after the two world wars, after the second one, we became the communist country. And now I show you what the communists brought into Bucharest. And this for you is the second largest administrative building in the world. It's our parliament palace. Our dictator wanted to have a building that can be seen from the moon. The building has 2,000 rooms. All of them are really beautiful palaces inside of this palace. Extremely gorgeous. The carpets, I was always fascinated how large the carpets are. And I was told by the guides that they had to be placed inside the rooms before the roof could be put on top. That's how grand this is. And in front of it, we also have an avenue with lots of wonderful shops. And on this avenue, we wanted to have it larger than the Champs-Élysées. So a lot of connections with Paris in the capital of Romania. So I hope that everyone will join Mark and Mimi to the extension in Transylvania. And Mark, I am happy to answer any questions that I may not have covered during this short and brief presentation.
Well, I first of all found that to be fascinating. So much, I just love going to parts of the world and looking forward to going to parts of the world I've never been to, and to see everything that you've talked about from your firsthand experience. It looks like it is a destination of incredible beauty as far as mountainous scenery. Looks like it is a tremendously cultural experience. And with all that food, especially that Balkan barbecue, you know, Kansas City is the barbecue capital of the United States. At least we feel that way. So
yes,
let's see if our barbecue is as good as your barbecue over there. But it all looked good. I think your desserts might win. I love those desserts. But it looks like there's going to be something for everybody on this experience. And I have always found that if you travel to places that you really don't know a lot, it seems like your expectations are more highly exceeded than going to a place or places that you've heard so much about all your life. And it looks like this is a beautiful, beautiful part of Europe that I think most of our Midwest clients, you know, we're kind of in the flatlands here in the United States. I think all those mountains I saw just looked absolutely spectacular. And you did a great job. You did a great job of presenting this whole thing. Now, I don't dance very well, Angie. So when we go into those places where you have to dance with the locals, are they very good at teaching you how to dance?
They are very good at teaching you how to dance. And Mark, I also have to admire that you selected a time of the year that is absolutely gorgeous on this part of the Danube, because we do have an incredible fall foliage like the one we have here on the East Coast. So not only the mountains, but also the beautiful colors of autumn will bring a lot, will add a lot to the overall experience for all of you.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because I literally had written it down in my notes to ask you, with the weather good, would we have a chance to see fall color changes? Because I love traveling in almost any part of Europe or the world in October. I just think it's personally the best month of the year to travel, at least to that part of the world, no doubt.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Marcy, you know, I think we've got a home run when you think about a brand new ship, the AmaBella. We've had this set up for 2 years now, so we've got some very preferential rates. Sounds to me like that post package in Transylvania is an absolute must. It's 4 nights, and I think it's an absolute must. So I don't know. I think I'm looking very forward to this. Probably more so now, even after seeing all those pictures and having a chance to research and study this. I don't know about you two, but I'll tell you what, I'm really ready to get back to traveling again.
I am too, Mark. And I have to tell you, one thing very important for everyone to realize is that due to the fact that we had to suspend last year and we've suspended a little bit this spring, we are moving everyone to be traveling to next year and 2023. So within that message, the ships are small. There's not a lot of space. Please do not wait to make your reservations, because the ships fill up very, very quickly. And in some of these circumstances or situations, because we have moved people, the ships are already full. Now, we know we have space with you guys, but please don't wait to make the reservation. It's a very nominal deposit, and it secures it for you, and you don't have to pay for it until down the road. So
Yes.
don't.
Excuse me, Marcy, just on that subject, there's a $400 per person deposit, and then the final payment is not due until June 27th of 2022. So to get the cabin that you want, the accommodations that you want, I would agree, give myself or Lynette, or if you already have a vacation counselor here at Cruise Holidays and Comfort Tours, call them and they can help you. And if you're interested and want me to review this PowerPoint with some friends who were not able to watch it today, or family that was not able to watch it, please let me know that. We can do that for you too. I'm very, very excited about this, Marcy and Angie. Thank you so much. This is going to be, I think, an experience of a lifetime. And, one of my famous sayings, and I love it very, very much, but we know by next a year from October, so literally almost a year and a half from now, things are so much better now than they were just 6 months ago. So how much better will they be all the way around the world? And one of the reasons why I love traveling with AmaWaterways is not only do we know we're going to get great food, great service on a great vessel with fabulous accommodations, wine and beer at lunch and dinner. And the reality is we know that the safety protocols are going to be the best there is in the industry. That's just how your owners do everything. They do everything right. And I guess you probably, the times I think you must pay your employees a whole lot better than everybody else. And Angie, I know you were a cruise manager on the ships for a while before you moved into the headquarters position. And you agree too, don't you, that the service from the heart that comes from the people on the AmaWaterways ships is second to none in the river cruise industry, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's the way our president and vice president treat us as a family, whether we are here in North America or in Europe as crew members. It's not custom to see a president of a company coming and having his lunch or dinner together with the crew, and that is what Christina and Rudy are doing when they come on board. And that personal touch and relation that they have with everyone in the company is what translates in the way our guests are treated on board. Really, we treat everyone like family. And we always like to refer to our service as a family luxury atmosphere, so to speak. So it's not the type of, luxury that is hard to be warm. It's a warm type of luxury, and that is something very unique to AmaWaterways, and everyone will feel it on board. Thank you for bringing that up, and thank you, Mark, for all that you do and for your loyalty And we all love working with everyone in your office.
Well, we do too, and I must tell you, and Marcy, you can comment on this. I just interviewed you last week on my radio show, and there has never been a time more important than right now for people to make, to me, their most important decision they make on a vacation is who they use to plan their vacation through, because there are so many policy changes, so many countries have unique different policies, so many vendors have different policies. It's hard to stay on top of it on our end, and we do, of course, but there's so much and things are changing so rapidly. So Marcy, comment on that. I mean, there's never been a better time to use a vacation specialist that knows AmaWaterways, knows the river cruise industry, and has very good negotiating powers on not only pricing, but other added values for our clients, right?
Absolutely, Mark. And you know, one thing I think is important for everyone to realize is that you and Mimi have made an investment in your people, and all of your agents, your advisors, even your support staff have traveled with us, so they know firsthand what is going to happen, how to explain it, and to fit you with what is the #1 way to exceed your vacation expectations. And I think that is worth it. There's no value that you can put on an advisor, their knowledge, their commitment, their dedication, their education. It's a continual process in this fluid environment to be educating ourselves every single day. And you have an amazing staff, and you and Mimi both are very active in that same protocol. So it makes a big difference because they know what's going on. They care about your wants and the needs of the guest, and they want to make sure that they put them and fit them right in where it will exceed their expectation with their knowledge.
Yeah. One of the things Mimi and I just love to do, and then I'll conclude it. We promised it would be less than an hour, so we've just got a few minutes left. But one of the things that Mimi and I absolutely love to do is to share memories of a lifetime with our guests that travel. You know, a lot of times we just send our guests to you without us. It's a special privilege for us to go with our guests to different destinations and share those memories of a lifetime with people. And so whether it's this royal family trip, mid-October of 2022, maybe you can't wait that long, so you're going to go to the Seine River with me, up to Normandy, out of Paris round trip in mid-June of 2022. Or let's just say you just plain can't wait and you want to go this October, September 30th through October 6th to Bordeaux. We're going to drink some great Bordeaux wines from that area, and we're going to talk about what a challenging year it is, and toast a lot that we got through it, that we survived, and now we're ready to thrive. So, and by the way, for those of you that really want to spend your children's inheritance, do all 3 of them. I think you should do that. And we will make some memories that last a lifetime like we've done for 32 years. And we thank you for tuning in today. We thank you for your business. We thank you for your referral business. Marcy and Angie, we thank you for your time and your partnership and support. And I just wanted to say thanks again. We look forward to answering your questions, getting you hooked up and deposited and the proper accommodations. Ask for me or my assistant, the group coordinator, Lynette Talge. We have a great group on this with some preferential pricing, let's just call it that. And if you want to learn about any other destination like that Seine River or like the Bordeaux, we'll be happy to talk to you about that, or any river in the whole world. AmaWaterways does it right. And one last thing that I want Angie to hear, because Marcy knows this. Angie, many years ago, when we put this relationship together with Ama, it was because other river cruise lines did not want to do group business. And so Gary Murphy had been after me for many years with no success, my fault, not his, trying to get me to do business with AmaWaterways. And the time came about, we had a really nice group, and I said, Gary, it's your time to, I'm going to send some business, some nice business your way, but I don't know a lot about AmaWaterways other than what I hear, so I want you to take great care of this group, and I'm going to be going, so make me look good and make my customers enjoy this. And you know, we had an experience of a lifetime, and everything we just said about your crew, second to none. Food, second to none. By the way, both food options from the local areas that you're going to, or if you're not that adventurous, food options that we're very comfortable with here in the United States of America. And we've been loyal to AmaWaterways ever since, and we've been putting an awful lot, I mean, awful lot of groups on AmaWaterways. You know, a lot of our customers say, Mark, I've never been on a river cruise. I never even heard of AmaWaterways, but I'm going to trust you. And that's the one thing we've said, trust us to do what's right for you, because we want your repeat business. And that's what you guys have always done for us too. You make us look good, and you make our clients love their investment and their time and their money. So thank you both for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, well, I will say, how do you say goodbye in Romanian?
La revedere.
La
Revedere.
vedere?
Yes.
Well, that's not too bad. Okay, I'll have to learn a lot of these Eastern European cities and pronunciations. Marcy, thank you. Angie, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Mark.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
We'll see you soon on the river.
You got it. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.